Now, this show has been so groundbreaking. Talk to me a little bit about the barriers that are broken down as a ripple effect of this show.
Well, I just think, first of all, the idea that you have LGBTQ people of color whose stories are at the forefront, who, you know, we are the ones that it's about. That's new, that's fresh, that's never been done before. Then you have the whole transgender thing, which as a LGBT, as a gay man, you know, I had to come to terms with the fact that the T in LGBTQ was largely absent from my knowledge, and I didn't know a lot about it, even myself. And so, you know, everybody is being schooled on what it feels like to live as a transgender human being. It's a really, really profound lesson. Well, it opens with the day that Madonna's Vogue was released. So that I can tell you. And I can tell you that Pray Tell becomes a bit of an activist this season. So that's one of the things I can tell. That's all I can tell you, though.
What was the first time you ever did feel represented in the media?
Oh, I don't know. Pose.
Pose.
Well, I just think it's not even about what it means to me. It's what it would mean for the visibility. You know, it's like the more people know about us, the more visible we become, the more people we reach, the more lives we change, the better the world becomes. Like, that's just the way it happens. Yeah. So it would be nice.
Well, we see a lot more of how the characters grow, and I think we get to see their aspirations manifest. You know, and I think the aspirations of marginalized people manifesting is really revolutionary and important. We don't get to be a part of anything that we want to be a part of, you know, it's very rare. So that's a really important theme in the show, to see trans people rising and creating during that time is going to be extremely inspiring for trans people and queer people who think that they're not going to be able to gain access to space and to create for themselves because of who they are. So to see it happening back then, you know, is really important, and it's going to make an incredible statement for our future.
Well, it's important because, like you said, we're not one-dimensional anymore. We're 3- and 5-dimensional characters. People can see different types of stories. There's not one trans woman on this show who's of color. There's 5 trans women, and they're leading women, and we don't have that in multimedia today. And it's good to see all of those stories combined in one. It gives you a lens of what our lives is like. Well, I can tell you that it's going to get deeper. There's going to be some riffraff. There's going to be some separations. There's going to be some coming together. And it's just going to be a lot of growth within this season. A lot of people are growing. A lot of people are maturing. I can say for sure Blanca, in the first season, you saw her as like pretty much like a child. Like she was a grown adult, but she was under Elektra. Now she's established herself. I mean, she did that in the first season, but there's years that have passed. She's grown older and she's matured a bit more. And now she's taking care of her kids fully and wholly by herself. So, well, it means a lot. That means our stories are finally being put on a level where they can actually be taken seriously. It means that our lives will be taken seriously. There's more awareness about our lives, and you know, we don't have to be policed anymore. We can actually live out our dreams and not be subjected to just one type of casting or one type of way of living, and the list goes on. But we are on a plateau now where we never probably would have been 7 years ago. And I'm sorry, but to believe that 7 years ago, that was the thing. Like, we weren't even on that level yet. Now, all of us are.
Well, Elektra is going to always be Elektra, right? And she's always going to fight for herself. And she's always going to make it. So it's like this. I come first.
I did. I think that there's so much pressure. You know, we have a large global audience now. It just dropped on Netflix this month. And so in that sense, you know, I think there's higher expectations for us. People now know what to expect. They have the characters they love. They want them to see them in scenes together, but we have a bigger cast now. And so it's just like all of these things, the things that people love, like Pray Tell and Blanca together. Angel just doing all that she does so great on the ballroom floor, making sure we give them more and more of that, while also never forgetting the DNA of the show, that it's a show of heart, it's a show of unapologetic fierceness, and it's a show about family. And what's so great about our series is that, you know, when I'm directing a lot of the bigger ballroom scenes, we have opportunities to invite 300 background actors to be a part of that, who get their first shot ever being on camera, to be on a set. And so it's so great that our show creates those kind of opportunities for people who really, really want it.
1990, was a year of change for New York City. We saw the first black mayor elected in David Dinkins, and we also saw the community go from being a subculture to being mainstream via Madonna's Vogue. And so we were really excited to explore what these characters' journeys would look like now in a whole brand new decade.